Olá, eu sou Moisés Esagui e nós estamos no segundo dia do Aprenda sobre o Comportamento Humano.
Hello, I am Moisés Esagui. We are on the second day of Learn About Human Behavior. We have developed this work truly aiming to share what we believe the most, enlightenment, and achieve a huge number of people in this exchange we have, in this interaction. We share something, you ask questions, give us feedback. Eventually, each one of us improves a little. I think this is the real meaning of life. Today we are in a very special place, as you can see the landscape behind. I am going to talk about one kind of behavior. Today I will talk about the passive behavior. This passive behavior is an individual situation in which we compose ourselves within an emotional structure that doesn't respond to the environment the way it should. I think the ideal form to respond to the environment is in an assertive way, not in an aggressive reaction, when something happens and the response is exaggerated. The passive doesn't respond in an aggressive way, externally speaking, but the aggressiveness remains within themselves. This way, the person becomes a victim, and I believe a victim of themselves, because when somebody says something, you need to answer what you think or feel in a calm way. Humans have been making a different path from their internal demands. So, we got used to an emotional speed that's not healthy. If you work in a city full of cars, full of people, very noisy, your internal processes become turbulent, whether you want it or not. Just get a decibel meter and check. You can do it even on your phone, with some apps. Measure the noise level and you will see it's higher than what we can deal. I believe it influences our emotional structure because we can no longer react in a calm way. In the past, for one person to perform any task, they could give total attention to it, doing one thing at a time. Nowadays we do so many things and all together, in an unhealthy speed, both for our emotional structure and for our spiritual constitution. We make the environment more and more unhealthy, disturbed and unbalanced. A passive person tends not to react. They are very afraid to do it because they are afraid of confronting. You can take note. The passive person seems to have no reaction because it's dangerous for them even to show they want to react, or to say what they think. This condition makes the person very bitter and very sad, adding to their emotional burdens what they initially wanted to say, to the same extent, whether it was contraposition, an explicit no, or a frustration. This is one characteristic we have to work, because as you can't externalize what you are feeling or thinking, you end up accumulating all this emotional energy. When you eventually say it, it will be full of anger, so strongly you can regret afterwards, or you simply throw it at your physical system, generating a disease. The most common is that we create our own diseases because we can't control all events in our life. Things happen, you absorb them, but they go on, suffocating you. You can't manage them with all the accumulated fears, because such a situation is an emotion. It is a fear that can't be expressed. Due to this increase in fear, you can't express yourself. The person ends up transforming it into a physical barrier, in a somatization, which may be even irreversible in some cases. That's why it's important to know what's our kind of behavior. If your behavior is passive, you should analyze yourself. If you walk with your head down, afraid to show who you are, if somebody asks you, "What do you do?" and you get scared, or "What's your name?" and you also get scared, "Where do you live?" These are questions made to passive people they find hard to answer. If you are afraid of speaking in public, just one person and it's difficult to speak, with two, things get worse progressively, even geometrically, because there's no coherent measure for this situation. It is not quantitative, but qualitative. The result is that, if you are in front of a group of people to talk about an idea, or express some thoughts, things become very difficult for you. You can even have panic. In panic, it's hard to breathe. There's a knot in the throat, pressure on the chest, cramps. Things increase progressively. This is a symptom you probably are passive. Other elements also contribute to it, and they can be analyzed. One of the things we have to see is, for example, if in our family our parents are passive, because you may have inherited from someone in your family. Or maybe you have become passive because someone is very aggressive. Due to fear to react, you become passive. It is a defense. To be passive is a defense. I see a passive person as an aggressive that can't express themselves. They have inverted the process. If we analyze better, neither the passive nor the aggressive is healthy. I can't say these are extreme things. There are levels we can be. We have a level of passiveness, aggressiveness, and even assertiveness, but our main characteristic determines our difficulty in dealing with other people. It is very important to identify this type of behavior, so that we analyze ourselves. See what is your difficulty in dealing with others, write it down. For example, when you take a course, are you afraid to be noticed? Are you afraid to express yourself, raise your hand, or answer a question? It's good to analyze it. When you go to a place you have never been before, are you fearful or anxious? All these things I am talking, I can make a mistake. You can send me a message saying whether you agree or not. But I would like to add something. I can't tell everything here, I am just summing up. This course is just a little part for us to take advantage of our time here on earth and add some knowledge. Maybe you already know everything I am talking about, you may be interested in others, or maybe you realize some things I spoke you have never thought before. There are many things to read, many documentaries, you can learn a lot. Read books of psychology, psychoanalysis, behavior in general, if you want to learn more about the topics and also more about yourself. We learn more about ourselves when we're brave to face ourselves. What is your main characteristic? Discover if it's passive, aggressive, or assertive. The passive is shrunken, the aggressive is ready to fight, sometimes unreasonably, and the assertive has more balance and can position themselves with more maturity. We will talk about these characteristics. Within them, there are details we will see as well. For example, if a person has depression, in which characteristic are they? Aggressive or passive? What is their condition? I put passive, aggressive and assertive to sum up and understand it in a more coherent way. We will talk more about it. Today is just the second day. If you want to ask anything, send us a message. It will be a pleasure to talk to you and help. What we are doing here should lead to enlightenment, in a clear and healthier path for all of us. So, the passive person is used to walking with their head downwards. Do you do that? They are usually afraid of answering. They usually talk lowly, as if they don't want to be heard. When they are in a classroom, they sit in the back, not because they are having fun, but because they are afraid of being in the front. They don't want to be seen from behind. When walking in the street, they check themselves, to see the way the others see them. So the passive has many aspects, like being defensive. They need to know what is going to happen. Everything through inferences, not always through reality. They think about everything that can happen. Clothes, conversation, words they will use, places they will visit, how to enter them, how to leave the place. These are defensive and ostensive characteristics, in which the person spends most of the time in tension and alert, not living in a healthy or happy condition, which is so important for everyone. I am in a place that's not noisy, where I can be calm. There are no people around, there are many trees and a lake behind me. As human beings, we need peace to produce peace. Therefore, it is important to think about it, to take care of our nature and our planet, take care of ourselves, and everyone surrounding us. Check out our website. The address is in the description of this video. There are a lot of things, and there's also a space many people are interacting, sharing ideas and questioning. It's life manifested through knowledge. Stay with us. In our next video, we will talk about the aggressive behavior. Follow our work.
Então, siga o nosso trabalho.
Would you like to participate in a work of energy giving from afar that is benefiting thousands of people? Click on the link below for more information.